Hi guys, Kevin1 here, and this is the Game Master's Book of Random Encounters. I'm not going to go over this in extreme detail because I need you to figure this one out. The value of this book is extraordinary. It's got the black, white, red sort of deal, very glossy pages. You have 256 pages, with some of those being like the credits and stuff, but over 250 pages of content, but less than 260 pages of content. For $23 US. I picked this up yesterday, and flipping through it, it's one of the most amazing purchases I have made this year, because I don't feel like I overpaid for it. If anything, they give you a lot for what you get. It kind of reminds me of nothing, really. Maybe Conan. Like, all of the Conan source books, you get a lot of material. But this isn't about Conan. This is about this book. And okay, you have something called an ageless hag, and she is ageless because of an anti-aging cream that turned her into a hag. And then over here you have something called an acid dwarf. I don't want to spoil all of the stuff for you guys, but the acid dwarf, he took a tonic and it turned him into this acid dwarf, so he touches things and they melt. So between those two things, I get a real Clayface vibe, like classic Clayface from the older Batman comics, where Clayface would literally absorb human flesh, and they couldn't go with that in the Batman the Animated Series because of how grotesque that was. But between these two concepts, I love it. I love it. This would fit perfectly in with, I would say something like Ravnica or Eberron, maybe even parts of Galarion if you're running the Pathfinder campaign setting with 5th edition rules. This is specifically statted out for 5th edition. And then this is what the creature stat blocks look like. I don't want to ruin everything for you. For $23, this is a good book. You have 8 adventures in here, and there's all sorts of random tables and stuff within the adventure, so it's not like it breaks immersion. It appears to be quick to jump into, because you have stuff at your fingertips. And I'm going to give you one example, and that should tell you, like, they give you a D20 roll right there, and it's, don't pause the video. Do not pause the video on that. Okay, you need to buy this if you are interested in a ton of possibilities. To me, this is just as it's a bit more useful than the Tome of Adventure Design, which I don't own. I've seen a copy or two of them, but I'm going to get my hands on one eventually. Please still be printing them. I did miss out on Green Ronin's Power Profiles for Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition. Like, I thought it was an NPC book or a pre-generated character book. It is not. Power Profiles is not that. It is actual, like, basically like Sub-Zero's fighting game moves and stuff like that. And it's amazing. But I missed out on it. I'm going to have to go with a PDF. And that irks me. But this is new, $23, and 250 pages of content. And basically, you get a whole bunch of content and everything is related to some sort of role. And every time you play this book, you can swap content. Like, I love that. It actively encourages you to have a different experience every time. Like, there are literally billions of possibilities. When you multiply each and every option, if you ran this through as a straight campaign of all 8 adventures, you wouldn't have a single adventure the same, unless you rolled poorly. But with 8 adventures that could easily be connected to your player characters, it's pretty well written, because it's related to the characters. It's not like, oh, this is world X, Y, or Z. This is player character focused, and once again, there's that, and it is an absolute honor to have this in my collection now. When I seen it at the store, I'm like, oh great, another Encounters table book. I mean, if I wanted an Encounters table book, there are literally a lot of them out there, but this one is different. This one connects it to an adventure, and it inspires me to eventually, like, I've got a lot going on, but if I were going to make a book, this is how I would do it. Like, adventures. Like, so many people are so connected to their own lore or whatever. No, make it around the player characters, and you will have a lot more content and fun. Runehammer talks about that a lot. Shout out to Runehammer. I just ordered Index Card RPG 2nd Edition. That will be within a month or two, hopefully, with the way mail's working. Alright, I know I wasn't talking a whole lot about this, and I don't want to show too much off. But once again, not every page has the charts on them for the rolling or whatever, but you have plenty of rolls to make. And it's not all D20, some of them are D4, D8, D6, D10. Alright, Carbon went out. Highly recommended. Check it out. $23. Less money than you spent on some other stuff that wasn't as useful. Alright, Carbon went out.